You remember a week ago, I made the video about the dummies who thought it'd be a great idea to get on social media and loudly proclaim how much they want to see ICE agents take their own lives and how stupid that was and how they got fired and lost their jobs for it. And then they wanted to pretend like, oh, well, this would be a perfect opportunity for me. Remember how dumb that was? Well, let's just kick it up a notch a little bit, because you can take a moment to recognize that politicians are never going to get the job done in full. Everybody who's walking the earth has complained about the job of a politician. It's a common standard, and honestly, it what makes a true American citizen. And when you criticize politicians, you'll criticize their efforts, their planning, their scheming, and how they only do and say things to try to get a vote. That's all reasonable. But when you look at a politician who just so happens to be a woman, who just so happens to be maybe pregnant, and they're going through the process of getting ready to give birth, and you get on social media and wish for pregnancy complications or complications during pregnancy, that might get a lot of people miffed.
As a labor and delivery nurse, it gives me great joy to wish Caroline Levitt a 4th degree tear. I hope that you fucking rip from bow to stern and never shit normally again, you.
And when they get miffed, of course, they're going to want your job, and they're going to find who you are. They're going to find where you work. They're going to call the job, and they're going to say, this person who's supposed to be in this profession making sure people are healthy wants someone to suffer. Get them fired, and social media will get them fired.
Say hello to this nurse and her message for Caroline Levitt.
My wish for Caroline Levitt. She is pregnant with a baby girl, and I truly do hope that baby is so healthy. I hope she's healthy and headstrong. So headstrong, in fact, that as she is emerging into this world through Caroline's geriatric tech garage, that she tears her from bow to fucking stern. Grade 4 tear. Like so big that when she gets out of the shower naked and walks across the room, like she accidentally picks up dog toys.
Say hello to lovely Miss Chanda. I don't know about you, but that does not sound like a registered nurse with 30 years experience in healthcare at First Choice Home Health, does it? That is the type of person that we should trust with our health in a critical moment. 30 years in healthcare, down the drain with one video. And I know people aren't going to stop until it ain't just the job, it's the license. And quite honestly, Miss Chanda, it's the consequences of your doing.
This is so disgusting. An Ohio nurse just went viral after publicly wishing childbirth injuries and complications on the White House press secretary Caroline Levitt because of politics. Let that sink in. A healthcare professional, someone who's entrusted with caring for patients, mocking pregnancy trauma to score partisan points online. The backlash was quick though. She was fired from her VP role at a home health company, and thousands have reported her to the Ohio Board of Nursing. If you're willing to wish harm on a pregnant woman because you hate her politics, you have no business in healthcare.
And it's at that moment you have to have a conscious decision where you will see the consequences of your actions and recognize that what happened led you to this moment, and you would reflect and maybe think wisely about getting back on social media and saying something to the effect of, I said something in a lot of anger. I'm very upset about what's going on in the world right now, but it's no excuse for me to be wishing harm on individuals in any given circumstance, especially when they're going through the process of creating life on this beautiful ball that we call Earth. It's just that easy. Or you could look at something that happened over the weekend where a man got shot by Border Patrol agents and be pissed off that the internet is still bothering you about the stupid thing you say.
So they just murdered a man in Minnesota. They murdered a man in Minnesota, and you motherfuckers are coming after me because I use bad language? Fuck you. I'm on the right side of this. Fuck you.
Listen, multitasking is a very common thing, and people can do multiple things at once. They could have agreements or disagreements about what happened over the weekend, and they could also be mad at you. They could agree with what happened, and they could also be mad at you. They could disagree and also be mad at you. It's really not going to quell anybody as much as you would want. While it's easy to move on to the next topic so quickly, some people will be on someone's neck just as long as they still see them online, and they will still want to see them suffer because they heard them say something that's wildly inappropriate. And I would work with the assumption that when you are someone who works in the hospital field and you may have to deal with, pregnant women coming in and out, saying online that you want to see a pregnant woman suffer, that's going to sting for a lot of people, and they're going to want to make sure that you don't have a job anymore. And it leads me to say yet again, no matter your skin, gender, sexuality, political affiliation, your job don't give a fuck about you. They give a fuck about their bottom line. And when you do something that could jeopardize their bottom line, they getting your ass out of there just so that they can keep making their money, not see any significant dip, and keep the flow going in so that they could remain enriched in all the money that they get from people that are probably not even in the same fucking state. So it would behoove you in your best interest that continue to complain and talk about politicians when they do bad jobs, because there's zero wrong with that. But when you're wishing ill on people, that's when it's gonna be a problem. If you're getting fired for saying, I hate the job this politician's doing, then we got an actual fucking problem around the First Amendment and how motherfuckers operate around that and how inconsistent some people are about it. But when you are hoping for people to take their lives, or you're hoping for someone to have complications during their pregnancies, you're taking it a step further that it don't even need to be, and arguably doesn't change anything. Because for the fourth time, I've had to hear somebody saying or doing something stupid, talking about how they're going to be a part of history. You will be forgotten in about a month, maybe even shorter than that. All it takes is something even stupider to come up that garners everybody's attention. That way they're paying attention to that, and you get what you want. They forget that you're the dumbass who lost their job because you valued saying something that could have been viewed by somebody as a good thing, somebody having complications during pregnancy, and you lost your job because of that. So golf clap of congratulations. You're a dumbass, and I hope you do find another job. And next time, don't really wish any ill on people so that you could keep your job. And for everybody else, subscribe to the channel. That way I can see you in the next one. Mwah! Goodbye.